Hello, welcome. Before we begin this guided meditation, I'd like to offer some background to this practice. As you probably know, science has confirmed the benefits of meditation, and we've all heard of them. Meditation helps lower stress levels and temporary negative feelings and emotions. It improves attention span. It helps manage chronic pain. It improves memory, reduces brain aging, increases happiness. It increases focus as well. There are certainly other benefits, but those are the main ones. And as a result, meditation is everywhere these days. It's in magazines, on TV. Countless books have been written on the practice. There are apps in the hundreds. Amazing. All great. But I feel what is often lost amidst all that noise is perhaps something simpler and much more fundamental. The fact that meditation helps you live an examined life. This alone makes the practice worthwhile. Because you see, when you live an examined life, you come to look at yourself and your experience of reality, I would say more accurately. And this has many consequences. You start to live life more authentically, in a more careful way, with wisdom and equanimity, because there's less of that constant self-referencing going on. And speaking of self, in this practice, we'll examine the ego, what it is and what it's not, so that you can better see through its stories and traps. Again, living an examined life. Most of us go through life as if everything is solid. Since the material world seems solid, our sense of I, a sense of self, also seems and feels solid. But let's investigate this solid sense of I and see whether it really resists scrutiny. This meditation will be in 5 parts, and I'll give the instructions as we go. So let's begin. For the first part, we'll invite focus, calm, and spaciousness in the mind. So close your eyes and settle into your seat. And bring your focus to your breath. Feel the air entering the nostrils and leaving the nostrils. No preference for shallow breath, deep breath. Let breathing unfold as it does, naturally, organically, uncontrolled. You don't have to do anything specific. Breathing just happens on its own. Watch this autonomous system happen, unfold, evolve, moment by moment. We're in the second part of this practice now, and here we'll begin to pay attention to our thoughts. You've probably been lost in thought a few times while you were trying to observe your breath. It's perfectly normal. The next time thought appears, this time stay with it and watch it closely. A thought can take many forms: an image, like a memory or a projection, a song, your self talk, that's a thought as well. Some thoughts are short term in that they just pop into existence, and within microseconds, they're gone. Others pop into our mind and seem to stay for a little bit longer. But same thing, they have no inherent lasting power. Notice the process of thought objectively. Observe their arising and passing while making sure that you're not lost in the content. Very often, we're aware of thought in the middle of it or after it's finished. See if you can become aware of thought precisely as it arises. And watch what happens to the thought. Does it continue? Does it disappear? And can you find what is knowing the thought? As you investigate, you'll probably notice that there's no actual thinker of thought. Thought itself is the thinker. There's no I or me behind it. I'll give you a few minutes on your own to observe this. And try not to rationalize it. Simply observe and try to see this whole process for what it is. We're entering the third part of this practice, and here I want you to pay attention to bodily sensations. There's a constellation of sensations happening at all times in your hands, fingers, feet, legs, shoulders, back, torso, head, inside your mouth, on your entire body. Observe them and notice how you tend to overlay concepts over what you're feeling. For instance, this is good, I like it. Or this is bad, I dislike it. Those are all concepts which we overlay on the direct experience of the changing sensations. Can you feel those different sensations without superposing any of those concepts? Settling into a more direct experience of those arising and passing phenomena. Again, no good, no bad, no like, no dislike. Accept and remain open to any sensation that might appear. Experience the sensations in their raw form and observe their changing nature. Pay attention to the visceral, emotional sensations within your body as well, without superposing any concepts onto them. As you settle further into the awareness of sensations, free of concepts, you eventually come to notice that there is no head, no arms, no hands, no legs, no body. There are only points of sensations, vibrating, pulsing, tingling, getting stronger, getting weaker, arising, passing. Sensations are continually changing. There's no solidity, no I behind this or that sensation. There's just impersonal arising and passing phenomena. Without rationalizing this too much, can you see this at all? There's no solid body, only particular sensations being known. Moment after moment after moment. We're entering the fourth part of this practice, and here I want you to pay attention to sounds. Listen to the different sounds that are arising. There may be loud sounds, there may be background sounds, there's the sound of my voice. You may be hearing the sound of your own breath. Try not to generate any preference for this or that sound. In a very relaxed and open way, be aware of the sounds as they arise in that clear, open space. Consciousness. Notice how sound is known spontaneously in the moment of its arising. No special effort is needed to hear. Hearing just happens on its own. Now see if you can find what's knowing the sound. You're not thinking about what's knowing the sound, you're looking directly. Sound is just appearing and disappearing. There's no actual knower. And even though we can't find the knower, knowing is still happening. Can you notice that? For the fifth and last part, let your attention go wherever it wants to go. And just notice the changing nature of experience. Notice the changing nature of sensations. Notice the changing nature of thought. Notice the changing nature of emotion. Notice the changing nature of sound. Sensory inputs like sight, smell, touch are also active right now, even though we haven't explored them. And they too are changing. Everything is in a constant motion. Is there a solid you amidst all that change? Can you find it? Ponder this for a few minutes. There's no solid I or me somewhere inside the mind. There's only particular sensations being known, particular thoughts being known, particular sounds being known, moment after moment after moment. Open your eyes. I hope this was insightful. Before we end this meditation, I'd like to add a few things. You see, we tell ourselves innumerable stories about this I. We care about it, we reinforce it, we love it, we are addicted to it, and we defend it. We literally contract our muscles when it gets attacked because we're so busy constructing around this sense of I. And this dominates the way we experience life. But as we frequently free ourselves of the concept of self, of I, of me, there's less an inclination to identify with it. We see I as a dynamic, changing energy pattern appearing in consciousness, in that open space called mind, where everything arises. Also, since you're actually looking at reality as it is, you have less of a tendency to get lost in the minutiae of life, especially when things get tough for you, in and out of the market of trading. Okay? So don't hesitate to come back to this meditation again and keep living an examined life. keep walking the path. Thank you for sitting with me. I'll see you next time.